Woe to those who call evil good and good evil, who substitute light for dark, dark for light, bitter for sweet, sweet for bitter. Woe to those who are wise in their own eyes, like the doctor in this story. Luke 17:2. Better a millstone tied around your neck than should you be a stumbling block to any of my little ones. I see these stories and they make me upset on so many levels. Because obviously you're dealing with taxpayer money to begin with, but so many studies are done every day. People are paid millions and millions of dollars to do research. And so much of it is with taxpayer money. A lot of it's privately funded. You got the Soroses of the world, you got the Faucis. They get millions of dollars from the government to do stuff that we'll never know about. But this is taxpayer funded money because it's a public topic and very controversial, obviously, in sex change operations, in puberty blockers in children. And always the big thing was there's not enough study, there's not enough science out there to justify doing these things that you can't take back. Once you implement these blockers, once you have these surgeries, you can't just go back and replace what you've substituted, what you've altered. We're created in God's image, and this is such an attack on God's image. And the fact that taxpayer dollars could go into a study to see the effects of kids that are being put on puberty blockers, and then when the results come back, they show that there is no positive effect. There's no evidence of anything positive coming from these puberty blockers, these life-altering hormonal blockers that are going along with the cultural and the societal pressure that these kids feel like they want to fit in, so they need to change their sex because their emotions are being exploited and manipulated. And then a doctor decides, no, this information is going to be weaponized by those who disagree with sex changes, so we're going to keep the people that paid for this, the taxpayers, from being able to see the results of the study. It's almost surprising that this came out at all, because there's so many studies that are totally buried that you'll never hear about the results of, because they don't perpetuate an agenda. And there's often falsified studies. There's often falsified results. You see it in movies all the time, where people will do anything to push an idea or an agenda. They'll lie about numbers. They'll falsify stats to get something pushed through. They'll ignore danger or potential danger, if it means money, if it means control, if it means any number of things. But this, we're talking about the children, and the fact that a study came out that would give anyone who wants to protect their children from being manipulated by society into going on a puberty blocker to help them alter their God-given sex. By scientific nature, a biological fact, how you were born, you can't change it, as much as the world manipulates our feelings. But that they would hide that because it would be weaponized by those who will stand on God's word that we're created in his image, male or female. It really is evil. And this doctor may be totally convinced that they're doing the right thing and protecting the kids, and that's the scariest part, because they don't realize the battle they're up against, because our battle is not against flesh and blood. It's against spiritual principalities and forces of darkness in the heavenly realms, and those forces are strong, they're wicked, they're conniving, they're slick. And they got a lot of people buying into it. You had an editor at the LA Times quit her job today because a new owner who just bought the LA Times would not let her use the editorial page to endorse Kamala Harris. And she's like, it's a dark, dangerous time, and I'm not going to, this is me using my voice. If I can't use this publication to endorse her, it's not worth working at. And I'm just like, man, there's no good side. The only good side is Jesus. He's right in the middle. If you can't show grace to somebody on the other end of whatever side you're on, you're missing the heart of God and you're lost, and you need to seek Jesus today. I pray you do that. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.